Good morning, everyone, and happy Monday. Welcome to the Laws of Business Breakthroughs, hosted by Bimal Shah. Good morning, Bimal. How are you?
Good morning, Blanca. Thank you for having me here.
It is always a pleasure. I tell everybody candidly, you should be sending Bimal a check for $10,000 because this is $1,000,000 advice for entrepreneurs. And it is a fantastic way to start the week off and get us ready to learn about entrepreneurialism, success. So, what is our topic today, Bimal?
It's daily metrics. So we're going to talk about daily metrics. It's one of the key essentials when you talk about, how do you make sure you get to make the best out of your day? So everybody should be having some sort of daily metrics, and daily metrics are different from daily goals. Daily metrics is what takes you to your daily goals. And having these metrics is important. Having this formula is very important because it can help you achieve what the goals that you set. And they're structured in different functions of the business. So each function that you work in, or even any job that you work in, can have these daily metrics. So I give you an example. And in sales, I've also created the tool, the sales metrics, and people can scan the QR code and they'll be able to access the sales metrics that I'm talking, because everybody wants to have sales, right? So for example, in sales, the numbers that you look, and daily metrics includes numbers. It's all numbers. So you are tracking your numbers for the day. And if you track all these numbers, you will hit your final number that you want. So an example is like, okay, how many leads do you start with, or your lead bank? Okay, so I have 25 or 30 lead banks. Now leads, many people use just names as leads. Names are not leads. Leads is let's engage and do something, LEADS. So people have to have had 3 or more conversation with these people so that they are engaged with you already. That is a lead. They're already talking to you. So let's say, your first metric is leads, how many people you talk to. The second metric is how many of these leads that you have, you opened a conversation. Like they said, okay, follow up, or talk. So you had a conversation. So second metrics could be conversation. The third metric could be how many of these conversations gave you a meeting, okay, or gave you a time to talk to you. The fourth metric could be how many of these meetings you actually asked them to buy or close, okay. So that is a close. So, let's say you have 25, 15, 10, 3, 1. That is a metric. That's a formula. So what are your metrics for the day? And these daily metrics are very important. It could be in any other function of the business too. And it's very good to build accountability and track your numbers. You could be going around doing your job every single day and not have these metrics and not knowing where you go wrong. So metrics are very, very key in knowing, okay, what am I doing wrong? What is not working for me? What do I need to change? It helps you identify the problem. Many times you don't know where the problem is. So these metrics help you find the problem.
That is so powerful. So
Yeah.
there are so many different levels of metrics, conversations, meetings, ask to buy. So you might have a meeting, but if you don't ask to buy, then
right. So let's take that same example and see how people could be not say, I'm not selling. I don't know where my problem is. I'm not having sales. I don't know where my problem is. Okay, so let's walk through this example and help them identify. So the first is, okay, I have 100 leads. I have 100 people engaged. So you have enough leads. So that's not a problem. The second metrics is how many of these leads engaged in a conversation. So, okay, out of these 100, only 5 people engaged in a conversation. Okay, so that's your problem. Maybe the leads that you have, what you're saying to them is not moving them enough to have a conversation. And that is your problem. Now, there could be another person who's has 100 leads, has 30 conversations, but has only 1 meeting. So whatever they're saying and asking for time from someone is not converting into a meeting. There could be another individual who has the meetings, but when he asks them to buy, they don't buy, right? So let's say he has 20 closes, but 0 sales. Then his closing is the problem. He doesn't need to go look for more leads, because that person, if he goes hunts for more leads, he's just magnifying the problem. He's making the problem even bigger, because now you got, let's say you have 200 leads, but you have 0 closings. You have 20 closings and 0 people who bought. Then you're not identifying the problem. The problem is in your closing. So if you just improve your closing, and let's say out of 20, you can multiply your sales 10 times.
That's wow. Say that one more time. If I do what now? Repeat that.
If you improve your closing, so in this example, let's say the person had 20 closing. Okay, he asked 20 people to buy, but 0 people bought it. Now, if you improve the closing where 50% of the people that he's asking to buy, or out of this 20, only 1 person bought. Okay, and we improve the closings to a 50% ratio or even an 80% ratio, 16 people would buy. So now going from 1 sale, he's gone to 16 sales per day without having to reach for more people. He doesn't have to hunt for more people. He just has to, sharpen his tactic, or sharpen what he's saying on his sales skills.
Okay, I like that. So it's so key. It's so key. You really have to pay attention to every piece of the puzzle to get every element increasing.
Exactly. And the whole business, everything in a business is like a puzzle. So if you take every problem in your business as a puzzle, you will see so much better, and you will look for the missing piece. Okay, where is the missing piece? Where is the missing piece of this puzzle? And then you solve it like a puzzle.
You sure do. I'm taking notes. Are you guys taking notes? This is magic. This is gold that we're getting right now. Wake up, get out your notebook, and start taking notes, because this is wisdom that we can all apply. All right, Bimal, what else do we need? Okay, so Bimal, listen, at the end of the day, everybody wants more sales. So I have a question for you. What are the puzzles inside the sales process?
So the sales process, the first thing is you need to have the right market with the right message. Okay. When you're trying to get more sales, it's who is the most important. You need to have your who nailed down. That who am I trying to sell to? Number 1. Okay. What am I trying, and then once you identify the who, then you look at what, why, and how. So why would this person, the first question, once you identify the who, is why would this person want to buy from you? What are you doing for them that would make them come to you? Okay, that's the why. And why is not just your why, it's also the customer's why. So we have heard the Simon Sinek, why do you do what you do? And that is very important, no question. But it's also important to look from the customer's angle. Why would the customer want to do business with you? Okay, so the key question in sales is eliminating the risk. So let's say when you ask people for money, okay, to do something or to buy something from you, there's always that element of risk. Am I going to get what I want from this individual? Can I get it somewhere else? Is it going to be the right thing that I do? So try to eliminate the risk factor for the customer. That way you can have a relationship with the customer and build a long-term relationship. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. It's absolutely brilliant. It makes perfect sense. And a lot of people, I think, have trouble finding the avatar, i.e. their perfect customer, because they have such a broad view of who their customer is. Do you recommend that the avatar be narrowed? Is that beneficial?
Absolutely. I even have a simple process. They can click on the QR code, and within that, there is a 5-star prospect link. But and they can just click on that, and it asks the right questions for them to build their avatar. And they can build it right out, and then they can get a list of their targeted customers. Very easy, very simple. 1, 2, 3. They don't have to worry about it. I've worked so hard and smart in the business that I've figured so many things that make it easy for others. So you don't have to go that route of, spending years figuring it out yourself. So if you like to build a list of your 5-star prospects, just it's as simple as clicking a link.
Well, we will do that. Everybody needs to visit Bimal's link tree and click on the 5-star prospect link, which will assist you and me in identifying the perfect avatar or the perfect customer to assist you. And today's topic has been daily metrics doubling the business. So in sales, what are the metric categories as you see them?
I'll tell you a true story. So this was a company that sells solar panels, where we helped them more than triple their sales using the sales metrics. So there are 3 key elements: sales song, sales process, and sales metrics. So sales song is everybody needs to be singing the same song. When you have a sales team, imagine having a sales team and everybody's singing a different song. What's going to happen to the symphony or orchestra? Let's say you go to an orchestra and every single person is playing a different tone of music. What are you going to do?
You're going to have a very, very unpleasant melody and a very inconsistent sales message.
Right. So in the orchestra, you probably will just walk out, right? You said, no, this is not for me. So that's what happens to sales. When you have a different, inconsistent message that is given by different people, and those people, we live in a small world. So if you talk to John and then Joe talks to Mary, maybe John knows Mary and they talk to each other, and Joe doesn't know that John talked to Mary. And they both got different messages. Now both of them have said no to their agent or to the salesperson. So that way, now you lost both the prospects. So it's very important that you have a consistent sales song. The sales process is how you walk through, and this is what we developed a complete walkthrough for the company, documented walkthrough. And then a sales formula, sales metrics is the numbers, tracking your numbers every single day.
I love it. I love it. That's, I guess, what I'm also asking in sales. Do you also have to track advertising in terms of, for example, let's say you handed out flyers or you sent out Facebook messages? Is that more part of the marketing metrics versus the sales metrics?
Yeah, that's a different metrics or marketing. So I would like to help people differentiate marketing and sales. They often get confused with these two terms. Marketing is everything that you do to get the person on the phone or face-to-face. And sales is what you do with the person on the phone or face-to-face, while they're on the phone or face-to-face. So the thing that you just mentioned are metrics for marketing. How many messages did I send? How many opened? How many clicked? How many went to the website? How many landed in the funnel? How many took action after going into the funnel? That's all marketing. Now, people often get confused between marketing, marketer, and prospecting. So a marketer, is used as a confusing term between many businesses. Many times is mostly a new business developer. A new business developer which goes out, goes for contacts, builds connections, goes to networking events, builds leads, makes the prospecting, sends out messages, and is doing prospecting. And prospecting without a 5-star prospect list could be daunting. You could be spending all your life prospecting and just very little time closing. So if you spend 80% of your time prospecting and 20% of your time closing, there's something wrong in that number.
If you spend 80, so you shouldn't spend too much time prospecting.
Right. You should have the marketing do the prospecting and the funneling and bring the leads to you and build connections that build. But ideally, you would spend less time prospecting, more time closing, right? That's what you would love to do. So you have more sales.
Of course.
So,
Well, there are certainly absolutely. There are certainly a lot of puzzles in this process, and these business breakthroughs are critical to helping us remind us of all the puzzles and the challenges. Everyone can visit Bamal's Linktree, the 1 year breakthrough, and highly encourage you to visit that. There's the 5-star prospect to identify your avatar and to learn all these other tools that Bamal offers. Bamal,
right, and
thank
then
you for
yeah, and anyone have a question, I would be happy to answer that. They'll get a copy of my book.
all right. Well, we didn't have any questions on the floor, so we are going to wrap up at this time. Bamal Shah, host of the Laws of Business Breakthrough, thank you for educating our community. We'll see you next Monday at 10:30. Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, and thank you, Blanca. Thank you very much.